We're here with Central Missouri head coach Flip Piontek, along with Reilly and Sojka. Coach, if you could go ahead and share some opening comments about the match.
You know, volleyball, when it boils right down to it, is a pretty simple game. The team that serves and passes the best has a real good chance to win. You know, I felt like offensively we matched them pretty well. I felt defensively we matched up against them fairly well, and the flow of the game was pretty good after the serve receive. And on our serve receive, I felt like we were struggling to get into system on our serve receive really from the very beginning of the match. We served first, sided out, and it was 5-0, and we lose by 5 in the first game. So I felt like normally one of the strengths of our team is that ability to control the ball and get it in the setter's hands. I just felt like we struggled with that part of the game the whole night. And by struggling in that very simple part of the game, it makes the game an uphill battle the entire time. And I felt like we were climbing a hill the whole time we played in this match this afternoon.
Coach, we're open for questions.
Annie, as you said, they served you guys pretty well, especially in a couple of spots where you were sort of tough. And you had a lot of good swingers out there. How did it look in that role?
You know, from the serving perspective, they absolutely served well. I give a lot of credit to their float serves. They were all deep, and we were just having we were kind of slow to the ball. And I think that they not serving to me was also very helpful for them, because I think that I was pretty much putting the ball to the setter, and so that was pretty frustrating. But also I wanted the rest of my teammates to know that they could pass, and I really feel like they do. They know that they can pass, and everyone can pass them, but we struggled just a little bit, and but I definitely think that wasn't a huge that. It was a big part of the game, but I felt like we did have an uphill battle, and we were climbing up it the whole time, and I give the other team a lot of credit. They were hitting the ball well, they were serving the ball well in every aspect of the game, and I think that we also were doing the same thing, but I also feel like when we got down, we kind of got down too far, and they pushed us to our limits, and we battled back, but we also kind of gave them a lot, or we let them go up a lot. So.
What was the pace of play to your liking? How did it affect you?
Oh, the pace of play was great. Yeah, it was fine. It was good. It was a good match, a good quality volleyball match at this time of the year. Like I said, tons of offense on both sides. Both teams had plenty of kids that could swing at the ball. There wasn't many tips. The tips that did happen, they usually scored because everybody was kind of camped out on the back line waiting for the ball to come to them. So, no, the pace of play was great. I thought their setter distributed the ball well. I thought their little outside number 5, I thought she did a little bit better job than we expected her to do in terms of her contribution to, we knew she was going to get a ton of swings, but her effectiveness offensively to get them kills, I thought was a big factor in the game.
Carla, they seem to have their blocks set up pretty well on what did you see in that?
It makes the game so much easier when you can't pass, because they can see everything. When we're out of system, you know where the ball's going to go. And I think, as we've said, passing, they did a little bit better than us, which, I mean, is going to lead to them being able to set their block better. When in those moments when we did pass well, that's when we scored the most. And I would say vice versa. When they were out of system, we blocked better. So it kind of just balances out in that aspect. We just did not keep the ball in play.
You know, it's a pretty normal part of the game. I mean, we got more kills than them.
Yeah.
But because we were out of system, they got more blocks than us, and we had more hitting errors, okay? And, you know, in a match like this where you only need 1 or 2 or 3 points each game, you know, each additional hitting error is kind of a bonus point for them where they don't have to do anything. So more kills, more digs, you know, the blocking, our errors really had an influence on how the game went. And the errors that we have offensively, I think, were abnormal for us because when the setter is off the net, chasing a ball down, their defense gets set up, and it becomes much more difficult for us to get an effective swing. And not that we didn't try. We continue to hit it all over the arena down there. So now we tried real hard, okay? But it's like I said, it's a simple game. And if you can't give your setter some choices offensively, Defensively, it becomes very easy for the other team. And I thought Wayne State was terrific from the end line today.
But your setter today, you can see how well she played having never seen her play before. A lot of balls passed tightly in that yet she was transitioning well, created offense on tight at all. One of the more difficult things to see. She had a really good match today.
I said, in terms of her handling those balls on the net, that's something that we expect her to do. You know, I have plenty of offense, and so, you know, over the course of the year, we were tempted to run some kind of a 6-2 to get some more offense in the front row. But her ability to handle those tight balls, to turn and block or to get the ball in play to a hitter on our side of the net is the thing that made us decide that the 5-1 is what we should be doing. I also feel like, you know, as bad as we talked about the passing, who set every single ball? She set every single one of them, okay? So as bad as the passing was, if you watch our team, you kind of get a feel for why these two seniors want her out there because, good grief, that girl ran everywhere today. Didn't complain, didn't whine, didn't do anything, but just chase down balls all day for us. And that's why she's out there. So, yes, I was very happy with Courtney today.
Both Annie and Carly, your seniors outgoing. What do you tell your teammates for going forward?
I think you tell them you don't lose anything from that one match. That doesn't, what's the right word? That's not the whole year. I mean, we had a phenomenal year in the MIAA and outside of conference play. I think we did extremely well, and I wouldn't dwell on this one loss because that just isn't worth it, in my opinion.
Well said.
I would say never stop fighting and never give up. And when you do get down on yourselves, just find a way to pick them up because I think that's a big part of the game is making errors and then finding a way to get out of that. And so I think that we have a great ability to never stop fighting, and I hope that continues every year.
One last quick question. The ball you kicked down?
No.
Oh, heck no.
Absolutely not.
It was off
Heck
my
no.
face.
Yeah.
He said it was after the second ball, it hit the ground.
After the second?
After the second hit, it hit the ground. Before I hit
See, that's
hit
where
it.
you-
And that didn't make absolutely no sense.
I'm going to say it. So,
I saw you treating the
yes.
game.
Yeah, I was
Well, we had to
pretty
send her
upset.
back over there a second time to plead that case. You know, that's where you want the video review. Okay, that would have taken 10 seconds to go back and see that the ball did not hit the floor, and then you get the call right. And the problem, again, the credit, Wayne State, out of that point, which they kind of get a free point, they didn't need any free ones. They got a free point that I really felt like we earned, okay, so they get the free point, but then get two more. Okay, and that's kind of how, that's the hard part. That's the hard part of those things, when you feel like as a coach, your team hasn't done anything wrong, and I can't do anything to help them get that point back, and I really want it back, okay? And that's what Annie's saying, you know, she's saying, never give up, okay? Well, this is coming from a pre-med major who's, she's a biochem, chemistry, dual major, she's gonna graduate, she's gonna be a doctor. She's not going to give up, okay? It's not going to happen. And this is going to carry over for her into her life. And Carly's going to come back and go to grad school. And look, the lessons that you learn from this are not applicable to just volleyball. And as a coach, you know, the hardest part of losing the match isn't the match itself. It's losing the players that you've been around with for 4 years. The relationship that you develop with them in the 4 years, that's what makes you coach. It isn't because he won 30 games this year. It's because I get to be around these two wonderful people for the last 4 years. So that's the hardest part about losing, is seeing them so sad and so unhappy and everybody crying. It's so hard for a coach to try to know what to do to make them feel better, because they won't. But, you know, in terms of the life lesson, in terms of the effort that they put into this season, and to have it cut short so harshly, that lesson will carry on for the rest of their lives. And that's what, it's okay. That's kind of what happens.
Thank you, and congratulations on a good season.
Thank you.
Thank you, sort of.
You want this?